Hello and welcome to She's All Batch. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Jackie.
And we don't care if you're here for the right reasons because we're just happy that you're here.
Exactly. So come join us as we talk shit about our favorite show. And when you say here, Stephanie,
I mean here.
Where do you mean, per se?
We're on YouTube for this episode. We're trying out a studio of...
I guess a video.
No, we're in a live studio.
Yes.
Recording a video and recording the audio. So if you're driving in your car right now listening to the audio, just know that later you can also go on YouTube, She's All Batch's YouTube, and check us out here
on the
and
video.
See our outfits if you want.
Yeah, no, this is the first time we're doing something like this, and I'm like so excited to be in person with you because obviously you guys know like we're never in person really to talk and chat.
Was the last time April for the live show?
Yes.
Wow.
I know.
Well, we have so many good things to get into today because we have the Bachelor in Paradise finale and so many crazy updates since then.
I know.
I will say thank you to Aven and Kylee for announcing your breakup.
Thank you guys so much for timing your breakup with our podcast
because
recording.
It would be really annoying if we got this information after the fact.
Oh,
Came to a studio, recorded all this, and then you frickin' break up? Are you kidding me?
I know. Could you imagine? Would we have to record again, or would we just put a little Jackie and Stephanie from the future? But that would suck.
That would be
like, it would what? Cut to like a random thing that says She's All Batch, and then it's like,
just by the way. So we're gonna creep, right?
Just lead us into the
lead us in
the whole shebang.
Hit me with a creep.
Live and on. It's not really live, but you know what I mean. Live. Yeah. It's live for Stephanie, and that's what's important.
Yes.
All right, guys, let's creep.
Okay, so as I said, Kylie and Aven have broken up exactly one day after they I guess hard launched their relationship after the finale. Aven posted on his Instagram and said 24 hours prior to the breakup announcement, if you believe in something it's worth fighting for, don't give up on what really matters, and the only thing that matters is you.
It's so crazy that he was saying those words knowing that he was cheating on her. Spoiler alert, guys. They broke up because he did some infidelities, according to Kylie's Instagram story. And I think it is really peculiar timing because I wonder if because they hard launched the relationship is how Kylie found out, because then some girl was like, wait, you're dating Kylie this whole time? Like, me and Aven have been hooking up, and then that's why she found out so quickly after the post.
On Saturday, so the finale's Thursday, this is Saturday, Kylie takes to her Instagram stories and said, following our relationship announcement yesterday, I want to thank God he did not allow me to live another day in the dark. In the last 24 hours, I've been grasping with the fact that one of the most important relationships in my life has dissolved due to multiple infidelities. This is not just a show, but it's my real life. For the foreseeable future, I will be in a time of healing and trying to put the puzzle pieces of my life back together. Please respect my privacy at this time. Love you all, Kylie.
Aw, did you see this coming?
Like, so, it's so weird, like, to be so surprised by something, but also so not surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, I think when they were leaving Paradise, I didn't see them as a couple that was really going to go the distance. They seemed to be on very separate pages, but for it to happen, it's the timing that makes it so crazy.
Yeah, but then I guess I just wonder, like, why not then break up? Like, if Aven was not fully in it, it's like you've already made it to the end of the show. If you were just with Kylie to stay to the end, you made it to the end, and you already decided you're not doing fantasy suites, you're going to leave as a couple. Why don't you just break up then? If you're just going to go back to your respective homes and immediately start cheating on her.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was immediate, but, you know, they've only been together, I guess, 4 months.
So Paradise wrapped at the end of the summer-ish. Yeah. And it's December. So they've been together for a few months, but may not.
Multiple infidelities.
Right, multiple.
So I don't know.
He's also, so Aven, after Kylie made the announcement, which I want to talk about the announcement for a second. It is a choice to reveal that there were multiple infidelities. She could have just said, you know, we broke up. So I think they're obviously on very bad terms.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, like, I don't blame her. It's like if he's going to have multiple infidelities, it's like you want people to know that. You don't want it to just be like, oh yeah, because we like grew apart and we blah. Like, she's clearly upset and rightfully so.
Aven has since responded now. Thank you again, guys. Thank you for releasing this information while we were in the studio, because it would be really annoying to have it later.
I know. We literally saw it just on the drive here to said studio, and I screenshotted it.
So what did Aven say?
Aven said, after careful thought and consideration into writing this, I want to first and foremost apologize to Kylie, my family, and my friends for my actions. I have made major mistakes in the relationship and hurt someone who is very close to me. At this time, I am in an extremely, two extremely low place. trying to work on myself. I am doing my best to find healing, find myself, and be a better person. Please have grace and respect for Kylee and her family through this difficult time. Thank you.
We have respect for Kylie, Aven.
Well, yeah, we actually never had no respect for Kylee. Like, we've always
what is that?
Respected her.
Like,
what do you mean?
We don't have respect for you for cheating multiple times after announcing your relationship and.
Right, so he doesn't need to tell us to have grace and respect for Kylee because that was clearly already there.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just like a whole lot of nothing. I think he obviously just had to say something. If Kylee, it's kind of funny. It's like literally in the same font, in the same style.
Maybe they shared
it was both like black background, white text, center.
Right. Maybe they have the same Canva. And he's like, can I just use that file? Thanks.
Hey, can I have your, what do they call it? Template?
Yeah.
Can I have your template for your little announcement on Insta stories?
What I want to know is someone needs to check on Blake. How is Blake reacting to this situation? And is Kylee going to have a girly chat with him? Because you have to think, you got cheated on multiple times by someone that you thought was the love of your life. You're going to have to call your best friend,
Well,
Blake.
I'm like, let's check on Blake. Let's see what he's doing. Just kidding. I have no service in here, so.
But I can just imagine Kylee being like, I'm so devastated over Aven. I need to call Blake to get advice. Yeah. What is up with that?
Okay, first off, I think Blake likes Kylee, or at the very least finds her very attractive.
I think it's the other way around.
No, I'm not saying it's not also the other way around, but I think first and foremost, I think Blake finds Kylee incredibly attractive, and because Kylee has not been pursuing him, she was initially pursuing Aven, he's been kind of like stuck in the friend zone, but I think he kind of likes talking to her and they have like a little flirty rapport. But I think Kylee, as time has gone on and she has realized Aven is not as in it with her, now doesn't even necessarily like Blake, but likes the attention that Blake gives her. And you know when you like know that a guy like thinks you're cute and like you get the attention and you just like the rapport, but you don't actually want to like do anything about it. I think that's what this is.
I mean, it's just crazy. I think overall, Bachelor in Paradise season 9, such a wash.
Such a wash.
Because
we can get into it in the recap room, but like I told you this. I literally had to turn it off and come back later.
Because it was stressing you out.
No, it wasn't stressing me out. It was just so boring. It was just like there's so much here that is so not important. And then the couples that are coming out of it, I'm just so not invested in. And it is a shame that then the two couples that end up engaged on the show, we already know Eliza and Aaron are having issues. Like, it's just, it's a wash. I truly am not leaving this feeling like I have been changed for good, you know? I've been changed for the worse, actually.
Because you knew them. You've been changed
for
good.
Exactly.
I will say it's so bad that it is entertaining for me, though. Like, it's so bad that it's good to me. The Kylee Blake saga was so cringe that it was entertaining for me. So I do like that.
Sure.
I do think I want to point out that the remaining couples from Bachelor in Paradise season 9, at the time of this recording, both haven't posted any feed posts, like hard launching the fact that they're in the public eye. All we got was, I think Kat posted stories, which cement yourself in this relationship though, Kat, like post it on the feed.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like if you're happy and engaged, like does she need to prove anything to anyone?
Yes.
Yes, she does need to prove to me.
Well, they all do, because our next story actually is how everyone is giving Gerry a hard time for not hard launching Teresa. So I do think that in this day and age, it is necessary to kind of, especially if you're coming from a TV show, we expect you've been in hiding this whole time. You're now engaged and you're supposed to be happy. Show us what you've been up to. I mean, Brayden and Christina did it and we didn't even know about them. And they've been hard launching all over social media. So why aren't the two couples that we saw? And I keep going to my phone to check, but no, but I have no service, so I can't. So yeah, I think it's pretty sus, as the kids say, that none of them are hard launching their relationships, because people gave Gerry shit for not hard launching his relationship with Teresa.
Okay, so but Gerry is old.
Trust me, I'm on the side of Gerry
alone.
I'm not on the side of the kids. I'm on the side of leave the 70-something
adults. Yeah. The adults in this room are being reasonable.
So people came for Gerry because before he posted a photo with Teresa on his page, he posted a photo with Neil Lane, and bless his heart, Neil Lane is cropped out because I guess he couldn't take the selfie right. He got shit for it. But then after he got backlash, he actually deleted the photo with Neil Lane, posted a photo with Teresa first, then reposted the photo with Neil Lane centered. So he maybe got like a social media assistant or something to really
Yeah, or at least one of his kids to explain to him, like, oh, if it's cropped here, you have to zoom out or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think everyone needs to leave this poor man alone.
Yeah.
His Instagram handle is literally Golden Bachelor. Isn't it Golden Bachelor Gerry? Or it's something with golden in it.
Golden Gerry Turner.
Golden Gerry Turner.
But you have to think ABC obviously
right,
but
that's my point, is that like this man literally didn't have an Instagram before being the Golden Bachelor. He has no reason to have an Instagram because he's a 70-year-old man. Like, how many 70-year-olds have an Instagram? I know some do, but very few and far between.
Yeah,
leave him alone. He doesn't know the rules. He doesn't know what a hard launch is. Like, if you put what was when they first announced him, they were like, he thinks that TikTok is on a clock or something, and he thinks a hard launch is, I don't know, what would be
like
a hard...
something an airplane does.
Yes, it's launching very hard.
Yeah.
The airplane
when the plane goes, like turbulence or something. Or like...
The takeoff, the takeoff is the hard launch. Exactly.
He's like, I love a good takeoff when I go travel.
Right.
I saw comments in the photo with the Neil Lane crop, and people were like, where are your priorities? Why aren't you posting Teresa?
My God.
And I'm like, his priorities are in the 1950s where he was born. Like, this isn't a thing. He could still love his fiance without posting a photo of her on Instagram. So, like, while I get I'm kind of arguing both sides here, because I do think that Kat and John Henry and the rest of them should all be posting that now that they're a couple. I do think we should hold Gerry and Teresa to different standards.
Of course.
Like, respect your elders.
Seriously, please do respect. And if you are someone commenting, where are your priorities? To poor Gerry, where are your priorities? Like, go
on Snapchat.
on Snapchat. Just like go do something else that's nice and wholesome. Please touch. I was gonna say it, but then I was like, should I not say it?
Why?
Guys, my new favorite thing to say to people is touch grass. Have I said it on the podcast before? Oh, well, touch grass again.
Yeah, just keep touching it.
Just keep touching it until you get your priorities in line.
Speaking of Gerry, he also shared his wedding playlist and listed his possible first dance songs, which I was like, that's kind of intimate for you to just openly share with a bunch of strangers online, especially for someone
but he's literally having a televised wedding.
I know.
So, like, we're going to know eventually what the song is.
2 of the first dance songs. Are you ready?
What are the choices?
Are you ready for it?
I don't know.
It's not Taylor Swift.
Oh my God, could you imagine if it was, are you ready for it? Boom, boom, boom.
The Power of Love.
By who?
Celine Dion.
Oh, Celine Dion. I was like, I don't know that song.
I thought that was like, 'cause I'm your lady.
Is that really what it?
No, Power of Love.
Because that's a different song.
Should we play? Oh, are we going to get copyrighted on
yes,
YouTube?
we are. So we can play it for ourselves, but we're going to have to bleep it out of YouTube.
It's The Power of Love.
Okay, I get the vibe.
Wait, is it not Celine? I'm going to get in trouble if I'm wrong. Hold on, let's just check.
A Celine Dion song, I think, is a lovely choice, Gerry. Regardless of if I know the exact
no internet,
song.
Motherfucker.
I told you, there's no service.
Okay, so it's The Power of Love, and then it's also I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston.
I think that's a better one.
But have you read the lyrics to I Will Always Love You? It's about a breakup.
Yeah.
If I should stay, I would only be in your way.
Yeah, I guess you're right. So
I wish you joy and happiness, but like go. I'm done with you. Right. Like that should be Kylie and Aven's song.
Okay, so your vote is for Celine.
Yeah, or actually I had my own personal suggestion. If Gerry, if you're listening, why not Don't Stop Believing, an acoustic version?
Oh, I love that.
I know.
That should be what it is.
I know. So Gerry,
what would I do for Gerry's song with Teresa? I don't know. Like I like an At Last moment. I think that's really sweet, especially like since they're older. That would be my vote. I would like an At Last. Okay. I know it's a little cliche, but like
that's a cute song though.
You know what I was thinking recently? You know the TikTok trend where it's like the David Beckham and Victoria Beckham song where it's like
yeah.
I was like, I'm so single in no place to be getting married, but wouldn't that be a cute wedding song?
What is
because it's like fun.
We gotta rely on each other.
Making love.
I kind of cringe at that trend.
I know, like but if I did it as my wedding song, would you cringe at it?
Making love to me. That's kind of a little sexual.
Yeah, but it's like in a cheeky way, and it's like I don't know. I kind of like doing like a fun first dance song that's not, but still like a nice love song, but not necessarily like let's cry in each other's arms for 2 minutes and make everyone watch. Like that's a little awkward to me.
That TikTok trend makes me cringe because I know that everyone's setting up their camera saying like, okay, when the song starts, I need you to start dancing with me. And then the guy starts dancing and then the girl's like, oh, I can't believe he knew the track.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Guys, come on. Can we all just like collectively just stop doing shit like that? Because my biggest pet peeve is like couples on TikTok that are like their accounts are couples and they're purposely.
I mean, period. Couples on TikTok.
Or like pranks. Like, I'm going to prank my wife. She doesn't know I'm in the room. And then they like pop out behind a chair and I'm like.
I think those are mean, honestly.
They're not real though. They're not real. You really think, like, first of all, if you were in a couple and you had a prank TikTok channel, aren't you just always on alert?
People have those, like an entire channel just dedicated to pranks. I think, you would think they'd catch on after the first like one or two. Anyways,
speaking of Gerry,
so to circle back,
your BFF Leslie, we know that she went on Bachelor Happy Hour.
Yeah.
It was a two-parter. You listened to both parts.
I did on the way here actually, so I'm fresh up on it.
So the biggest bombshell is her revealing what Gerry said.
Yeah, and she didn't even reveal like specifically, like it wasn't an exact quote, but she kind of said that he was saying things to her like, oh, and just making plans for the future very tangibly, like, oh, and save the date for this because we're going to do this type thing.
How can you say, like, what did Teresa do?
I don't know.
Doggy. Like,
yeah, can we like pick this apart a little bit? Because it's like, why would Gerry say those things?
Because he thought it was going to be her until he did the deed with Teresa, and he's like, fuck.
But like obviously like that's not really what happened.
But what did it? Okay, what about the internet's theory about how Teresa has money and that's why he's going with her? I don't think that at all. I don't
think that at all either. He kind of like alluded to the fact that it had to do with the fact that like obviously they were both widows, but he like really I think had a huge admiration for like Teresa being in such a long marriage for a long time. But it's like, you knew that before the fantasy suite, so I don't really know.
Yeah. But in that moment, he thought it was Leslie. I mean, he said it in the finale, I thought it was you until it wasn't, which confirms our theory. You were in love till you're not.
Of course.
Aven.
Yeah, I just wonder, like, what was it in the fantasy suite that he didn't already know about Teresa? Because I really don't think it was the reverse cowgirl.
Like, I mean, it really had to have been. Like, literally, actually, though, it was one night. One night between those, the time period in which he was saying this stuff to Leslie.
I don't believe, one, that Leslie wouldn't also do an amazing...
I don't believe, one, that Teresa does reverse cowgirl. No.
Whatever Teresa can do, like, Leslie can also do. Right. So it's just like...
Princess X.
Right. Like, let us not... She does talk about that in the happy hour thing as well.
What did she say?
She dated him when they were, like, very, very young, before he was really Prince. Like, she was, like, 18.
But he wrote Sexy Dancer as a teenager?
Yes.
Have you ever looked up the lyrics to Sexy Dancer? But maybe he was older
than her.
Have you ever looked up the lyrics to Sexy Dancer?
I'm assuming it says you're a sexy dancer.
Oh, well, I'm not going to have any service. Oh, wait. On my phone, I do. But on my computer, I don't.
I know. What is your carrier? Okay, like Verizon or something crazy. Not AT&T.
The lyrics to Sexy Dancer, the song that was written about Leslie. Mm-hmm. Woo! Sexy dancer, sexy dancer, sexy dancer. You got my body screaming, sexy dancer. You got me just a creamin'.
Scandal.
Clutching my pearls. Sexy dancer, when you rub my body, sexy dancer, it gets me hot, hot.
Right. So Beautiful. What I'm gathering is she is a very sexy dancer.
She's probably, she could do just as good in the fantasy suite as Teresa.
Right.
So Leslie said, like you said, save the date. This is what we're going to do. I can't wait for us. In 2 more days, we'll be done with this and be together, start our life. Did he say, will you marry me? No, but he all but said that. I would have been happy with just, I love you, but he took it to a different level. We woke up the next morning and he turned around 3 times and blew me kisses. He didn't want to leave. That's why I wasn't worried when he was going on a date with Teresa. I just knew that he had to get through the motions of it. And I mean, I was 100% sure that it was it. Not only is that shitty for Leslie, I actually think this news coming out is pretty shitty for Teresa to hear too.
Yeah, I agree. I do. I mean, but that's like, I think the case with the final couple always in this show, regardless whether it's golden or not, is like, it is really painful and difficult for people to then watch back the connections that the lead had with other people. Mm-hmm. Although Teresa does seem like pretty transparent of like, no, I like knew where everything was at and seems unbothered. Teresa does give off a confident vibe that I could see being incredibly attractive and very sure of herself and very much just like, if it's not 1,000% me, like don't pick me and I'll be fine.
Yeah. Did you see that her family were wearing sweaters that say a very Gerry Christmas?
Oh no, but that's cute.
Like there needs to be a holiday special about him.
Yeah. Well, maybe they can just wrap that into the wedding. Yeah. That's January 4th. So
are we going to recap that?
I think so. Okay. Right?
What is there to say? Then she walked down the aisle.
But I think we can like make comments about like what songs they end up picking.
Well, do you think
like,
we're going to find out?
Why would we not find out?
Well, I don't know.
Well, do you think, will they only film the ceremony versus like I feel like they're going to have to film the reception too. You're not going to just have me watch Teresa walk down the aisle.
Have you watched a Bachelor wedding on TV though before?
Clearly no.
But they're not really that great. I mean, I remember like Jade and Tanner's, it's a lot of other people. Like they have other Bachelor people come. It's a lot. I mean, at least theirs. I don't know what Gerry and Teresa's is going to be.
Yeah.
But they had like other people interviewing other people, showing flashback clips to like previous weddings. There's not that much focused on the actual couple. And I don't think I've seen a ton of reception.
Yeah. I guess to be fair, like a wedding is actually very short. Like if it's not the reception, like the actual ceremony is like 20 minutes.
Well, that's why when we've interviewed people like Evan, I asked, like, do you actually get the reception too? Because all we see is the ceremony. So that's a lot of money they're shelling out for something that we don't even see. Or though, like, Crystal and Chris Randone got a reception, but they turned it into a whole
like a Bachelor
storyline
reception. Yeah. I feel like we would have to get, at least can we get like the beginning part of the reception? Like they come out, they have the first dance. I want the speeches. I want the best man speech. Who do you think is going to be like their maid of honor and best man?
I don't know. It's probably people we don't know.
No, I know. But like, do you think, like, for example, when my dad got married for the second time to my stepmom, like they didn't have like a traditional, like the way you would have bridesmaids and groomsmen. Like it was just us kids that were like in the wedding. Oh. So because this is like a second wedding for them, do you think they'll have like
Jesse Palmer
as the best man?
Yeah.
Don't you think he'll marry them?
Oh, I don't know.
Wait.
No, he is.
Wait.
What?
Susan is a wedding officiant.
Wait, is that her job?
Yes.
Oh.
She has to do it.
I saw a comment where she said, I can't wait, like under the January wedding.
She has to be doing it.
Well, she's either going to be an attendee.
Well, of course she'll be there.
Wait, speaking of Susan, did you see that she posted a TikTok or some kind of video with her daughter and they're in bikinis in the ocean? And like, first of all, Susan. Slay all day.
Yeah.
And she's like, paradise, golden paradise, it's happening. And like, I don't know if it's happening or if she's just
manifesting
going ham.
The shit out of it.
No, she's just going ham on social media. We've talked about this before. Love Susan. But can she say these types of things? Like, I almost wonder if she's just doing it and like hasn't heard from ABC. But I know in the past, like, wasn't there someone that took photos with roses and like implied that they were, do you know what I'm talking about? Wasn't it Elizabeth?
Yeah.
It was Elizabeth from Clayton season. And I heard that she got contacted by ABC and was like, take that down. Because she was very much implying that she could potentially be the lead or something.
Yes.
So I think if you're going out saying things that aren't confirmed, you could get in trouble.
But I do think like the Elizabeth situation is different from the Susan thing because she was literally using like Bachelor IP of like the gown and the roses and like very much versus Susan just saying like, hey, golden paradise. But I think
she said it's happening.
Mastermind. No, but I think she's brilliant in that like she says something like that and then you get all the comments being like, wait, that's an amazing idea. You should totally do that.
And then she says, ABC, look,
people want this. Yeah. I think that's what she's doing and it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Manifesting the shit out of it.
Speaking of manifesting, we need Susan on the pod in 2024.
Oh, yeah.
We already know she would.
Of course. We've chatted with her.
We love her.
Yeah.
It's about ABC, letting her out of the vault for us.
Right.
That's our goal in 2024, to try to crack ABC a little bit.
Yeah. And I think with someone like Susan,
it's fair game.
We were talking about this in the car on the way here. Like, I do think it's fair game because while we love Susan and there's so much to talk about, I don't see that being an interview that's very like behind the scenes or like exposing an edit really. And that's what ABC does.
It's going to be like, Susan,
make us chicken piccata and we are going to eat it.
Exactly. Well, I think it's time to go in the room because I feel like
we got to go in the room.
I feel like there's so much to unpack and it really has been tied into some of our other stories. And I feel like I can't fully dive into my thoughts until we get into the right room.
I so agree. We're so not in the right room. But the thing that's weird about now being in person and in the same room as you is that everyone can see we're just in the same room, guys. The recap room maybe we can put facade. It's a state of mind.
Well, what about people really thinking that we were sitting in a corner?
Right.
Or like going to a shed. Like there are people that really thought we were doing those things and I don't want to ruin the illusion. So I'll tell you guys this. If you're watching on YouTube right now and you see us not going into a room, just close your eyes for a minute. Maybe we could do like a little like whoosh. So it's like
Right, but we're sitting in the exact same spots.
I don't feel like getting up.
No, I'm really comfy in this chair.
I know.
Guys, I just think you should really think about it as like a state of mind.
Yeah, we're all in the recap room, you know?
In a way, yes.
So true.
So true. We are all in the recap room.
All right, before we get in that room, I need to tell you guys, I've unlocked the secret to taking off your makeup so quick, so easy, and I know that because I use it all the time. So makeup eraser, have you guys heard of it? It's these amazing cloths that when you put warm water on it and you rub it on your face, your makeup literally melts off. I've never had makeup come off my face so easy.
Wow.
Jackie's never used them before. I use them all the time, and I'm so excited that we are able to share it with you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited to try though, because I feel like I just use normally like the makeup wipes, but that's probably not as good for your skin as just using like warm water with the cloth.
That's the thing. And also, like, when you're going to take off your makeup and you go to grab a makeup wipe and you're like, oh shit, I don't have any left. What do you do then? When you have the makeup erasers, there's always one waiting for you. And I know that it's not going to take that long. Like yesterday, I took off a full face of makeup, and it's mascara, eyeliner, and foundation. It took me like less than a minute.
Wow.
Like completely barefaced. They're doing like the 12 days of Christmas with a ton of deals, but for She's All Batch listeners only. Well, I mean, I guess like anyone can use the code, but it's because of us that they're extending their deal. And for the 13th day of Christmas, we are getting to have extended deals for our listeners.
Yes. So guys, today only on December 13th, everything on their site is from 30 to 50% off. So basically, if you buy one, you get 30% off with the code SLAY30. If you buy two, you get 40% off with the code SLAY40. And if you buy three or more, you get 50% off with the code SLAY50. And so this sale, guys, ends at midnight Eastern time. So this is the last day for guaranteed Christmas delivery for all of the orders placed too. So I think these make really great stocking stuffers, cute little like grab bag gifts for like a white elephant moment.
You can go to makeuperaser.com. Again, you can use code.
It's SLAY30, SLAY40, or SLAY50, depending on how many you buy.
Yeah. Jackie, you want to tell them about that bodysuit you're wearing? It looks fabulous.
Why, thank you so much. Guys, this is one of the Honey Love bodysuits that I talk about all the time. You guys obviously know we love Honey Love. And it's not just all talk. Like I actually do have a bunch of their bodysuits and I wear them all the time. I think they're perfect for like just like a solid go-to outfit when you don't really know what to wear. Okay, great. Honey Love bodysuit and jeans or something like this. I just put it on like under this sweater.
But yeah, it's not only bodysuits. They have their amazing crossover bra. It doesn't have underwire and miraculously lifts the boobs.
Especially this time of year, guys, with so many holiday parties coming up and different events. I think it's just so important to feel snatched, to feel good in your own skin. And so you can definitely do that with all of the great shapewear from Honey Love. Treat yourself to the best bras and shapewear on the market, and you can save up to 20% off site-wide at honeylove.com/she'sallbatch. So that's for this month only, guys, and inventory is limited and the sale ends soon. So do not miss probably their best deal of the year.
All right. It's time to get in the room.
Yeah. The dilly-dallying, enough is enough. Yeah, we have to be in the room right now.
Okay. So here we are in the recap room.
Spoiler alert, it's the same room.
All right. We can't hit the music because we're on YouTube today. So
just like in your mind, like what the recap room.
No, we can sing it.
Can we?
Yes.
Okay.
You've never seen like a karaoke? Do they get in trouble if they sing someone else's song?
They probably don't get monetized. That's the thing.
It's fine. I actually know it's okay.
Okay, then take it away.
Dun, dun, dun.
Almost paradise.
Yes.
When I get on heaven's door.
That's where it fades. Now fade. Good. All right, we need to get into this finale. I know you said up top that it was a really boring finale, but I like a good train wreck, and that's really what it was. It was a lot of mess.
But it was, once again, too long. Like the whole second hour could have been cut. Like this could have been a 2-hour finale. It did not need to be 3 hours. And quite frankly, after 2 hours, I thought it was almost over and I was like, I'll finish the rest of this tomorrow, and I turned it off. And then went back to it later.
What happened is I said, oh my God, are you still watching? Because I watched all the way to the end because I'm a good host. And Jackie said, no, she turned it off. And I'm like, the Brayden and Christina news like shook me to my core at the very end. We'll get to the montage. We'll get to it. I will say, I mean, the last hour of this episode could have been an email. It really didn't need to be 3 hours.
The second hour, the Kenny and Mari wedding, sorry, I'm like feel so passionately about the wedding that did not need to exist because it was a fake wedding.
I know. It really is ridiculous. Also, to have a 3-hour finale and then not even have the live studio audience element, it's like, why? Number one.
Literally
but
why?
Also, like I posted on Instagram, this is a case for the FBI. We have more loopholes in this season than ever before. And this is the one season you decide to not have to question people. Like, wouldn't you love to see Kylie in the hot seat and say,
Yes.
Kylie, why are you obsessed with Blake? And I
Right.
want to hear her answer. Or like, Jess, does everyone know that you made out with Tyler? Or Aven, have you met Rachel before? Why don't you guys talk?
Right.
What else? There's like so many.
Well, also on the same point of Aven, why didn't you want to get engaged to Kylie?
Or Olivia, why did you ever go on a date with John Henry?
Oh, yeah. Well, she did, though. We just forgot. Because it was so boring. I'm sorry.
I will say, okay, my excuse to that is like, I think the dates are boring. And besides the fact that blank and blank went on date, besides the fact that blank and blank went on date, I don't actually like, what else is there to say?
No,
like,
because
what you're talking about
of
on these dates, nothing really ever comes out of the dates.
Yes.
The drama is in like the beach, the confessionals.
Yes, I agree.
The rose ceremonies. Like on the dates, what are you saying? Oh, I'm so excited.
Literally nothing. 9 times out of 10, they cut anything that's like significant to the relationship being built. Except in this case of Kat and John Henry's date, which I actually thought was very sweet, and we can get to that.
Yeah. Yeah, but honestly, besides that, they usually go over my head, so
Yeah.
forgettable. Sorry, guys.
If it's forgettable, I'm gonna forget it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because we're all human. I wish you would have joined in with me. I was a little weak.
But I wanted to give you the solo.
Oh, thanks. One more thing about the 3-hour finale.
Yeah.
It is bizarre also, not to have the live element, but there's so many couples that we weren't invested in. There's so many couples that just got together.
Yeah.
Literally the episode prior, that why did we need 3 hours to figure out that they weren't going to make it? We already knew they weren't going to make it.
Right.
I mean, the people that made it are hardly making it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really, I mean, this was just a whole waste of time, but.
Huge waste of time. I also wonder, like, what benefit do they have by having like a fake wedding with Kenny and Mari when we didn't even know it was Kenny and Mari till the episode was airing? Like, I get inviting back alum to be like, and these people are back.
Yeah.
So then people, because we are invested in their storylines. We've known them for a while now. And then you want to go back and see like what they're doing on the beach. But to make them like surprise guests and then to have a fake wedding, was it really just to bring Blake back so that Kylie could be like, ooh,
they're like,
but you couldn't think of a different way
back?
to bring Blake back onto the beach, or just make up a stupid rule. They make up rules all the time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, just kidding, Blake's back.
Well, he left on his own. I decided I'm back.
We're forcing him back. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. People are wondering like why he's even the best man. Like, would he have been the best man if
in their actual wedding?
That's
no.
a good. That is a very.
They had an actual wedding.
But we weren't there. So.
No, but didn't they do something with People magazine? I don't think Blake was the best man for that one.
Right. Well, I think that's very telling though. If Blake wasn't the best man in their real wedding in November, where it was in Puerto Rico, then everything it's all a lie.
So did they get married first then here?
So I have this information.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, Paradise was their first wedding in June, and they were actually legally married there. Weird. Okay. They're counting the November wedding as their anniversary though, since that's when family could be there. They only had 3 weeks notice that the Bachelor in Paradise wedding was taking place, so it was too late to coordinate with family. ABC, loosen the purse strings. Like, you could have got them on a helicopter or a jet or something.
So what you're saying, like at that point they would have already had like their actual wedding venue like booked and planned?
No, like they were given 3 weeks notice prior to getting married on the beach that they had to be there contractually. And who just told us, oh.
Wait, why contractually?
Well, when we interviewed Courtney Robertson, it's coming out in January, but she said that Victoria going on the group date on Zach's season, she was actually contractually obligated to do that. Basically,
but that's because she was just on Paradise versus like, but Kenny and Mari have been off Paradise for a while now.
I don't know.
You know, so I would have thought their contract was maybe up.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
They used the same wedding bands for both weddings. They took them off after getting married on the show and didn't put them back on until Puerto Rico. So that shows, I mean,
like that was their real wedding. Yeah.
The Puerto Rico one.
Yeah.
Right.
So why are they doing this?
To bring Blake back.
But like, why are Kenny and Mari agreeing to it? I guess for a fee. It's like, oh, well, if you're going to pay me, sure, I'll like have a fake ass wedding. Who cares? I mean, and it's kind of doesn't matter that they were technically like legally married after that one. Cause like Joe and Serena did something similar where they went to City Hall, technically got married, and then months later actually threw like a real wedding. And obviously you count that as like the celebration and the meaningful one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I just don't get. And why do they think we want to see a fake wedding? Like, I just don't understand. Yeah. Is it just so that they can say, for the first time ever, someone's getting married in paradise? I don't even think that's true.
That's not the first time. Kylie and Aven got married in paradise.
Exactly. So
I also think there's something about like people sitting on the sand on like logs in like their sundresses going to your wedding. People that don't even know Kenny and Mari.
Yeah.
Like people from Zach's season who Mari doesn't know, and Kylie is front row at her wedding. Wouldn't you be pissed if you were getting married and a bunch of people in the audience were people you didn't know?
Yes, that's why I probably wouldn't agree to do that. But like, if they're doing it for the money, like,
go off, okay.
Slay, go off. Yeah, I love that for you.
Well, let's start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. We start off with Jess and Mercedes. Like, why are you guys there still? I mean, I think my issue with this season is it's never been more apparent that no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's just going through the motions. And I think at least in previous seasons, they've done a better job at pretending
I agree.
that they want to find love. In this case, the fact that Jess and Mercedes are sitting on the beach talking about how, like,
well, once again, she had said too that like the only reason she liked Blake was because he liked her outfits. Yeah. And I was like,
she's like, I don't know how to dress anymore because I don't have Blake complimenting my outfits. Like, girl, wear whatever you want.
Right. And like, just pick a swimsuit. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. Unless you're bloated and then you're going to wear that one-piece blue bathing suit.
Right. Exactly. No, I 100% agree. I think it's just so apparent that they were just on another episode of television and they like that. But that's why it's really hard to like get invested, because they're just wasting our time with this. Like, there's no reason to have that scene with Mercedes and Jess. Love them, but like, this is not relevant to the story anymore.
Right. And then, so Kat and John Henry go on a date. Mm-hmm. We do see a deeper side of this couple. It was almost like ABC being like, we don't have that many couples to root for anymore. We're going to have to now show you a little bit more of this couple. Mm-hmm. We learn a little bit more about Kat's backstory.
Yeah, which I really appreciated. I thought it was like really nice to like hear some more vulnerability from her, and like, you know, once you learn more about people's history and their backstory, it kind of just like humanizes them.
Mm-hmm. So okay, the weirdest part though is when Kat and John Henry come back from their date. Kat sees Jess as Jess is twirling Mercedes' hair. Have you ever twirled someone else's hair? She's like,
no, I simply have not.
Right. So Kat walks up to Jess and she's like, no.
Right.
And Kat's like, no. Hey, what do you mean? She's like, nope. And walks away. And everyone, once again, another scene where we're like, whoa. Did something happen here that we didn't see? It wasn't just Jess saying, I really just don't want to talk right now. I'm really in my head. I'm sad that Blake's not complimenting my outfits. Like something. She didn't want to talk to Kat. So what was it that Kat did while she's away on a date that Jess is so mad about?
I don't know.
And she wouldn't give her...
I wish I knew the answer.
I know. So this is when Jess walks away. She decides to ultimately leave. Mm-hmm. What I thought was funny is like, this is a theme this episode, but this isn't supposed to happen is what people are saying. But wouldn't you say the exception is leaving with someone? The exception is getting engaged. What's supposed to happen pretty much is leaving alone.
Yeah.
But everyone seems to, I can't believe my paradise journey's ending like this. Why?
Because everyone thinks they're special. Everyone thinks they're going to be like the exception.
But you're more likely to end up alone than you are to end up getting engaged on TV after 3 weeks. So it's just funny to see that being the theme throughout the episode. Like, I can't believe I didn't get engaged after 3 weeks.
Right. But I think it's that, but it's also them like knowing what the engagement will do for them in their career, but they all think they're going to go on and be like Bachelor Nation's like royalty. Next little royal couple.
Mari and Kenny, are they using them for ratings if we didn't even know about it until the episode?
Well, that's why that one was so confusing to me. Yeah, I don't know.
Like if you were like, oh, Ashley and Jared back in like when they were getting married, if you're like, tune in guys because Ashley and Jared are getting married on this episode and you want to see it. Why wouldn't you try to advertise them? Is it because not as many people... I mean, I personally, happy for them, but didn't really care to see that you guys get married on the beach.
Right. But they didn't even use that as like a selling point. I don't know. I think they just love to waste our time, honestly. I just think they think we're dumb and they love to waste our time because that was a whole hour of television. A fake wedding. You couldn't just like...
Well, they were legally married. They were legally married.
Sure. But like, that's not the wedding that they're considering their real wedding.
Right. And I don't think in your real reception, you sit with a bunch of people in like mesh shirts talking about like relationship drama.
Right.
I don't think that's how they want to spend their after party.
I just think they could have found a very, like, an easier and cheaper way to get Blake back on that beach other than, like, hiring Kenny and Mari, throwing a wedding. It's just,
and, like Blake was on Claire and Tayshia's season with Kenny. That's how they became friends. Because I heard some people being like, how did they even...
But I forgot that, though, until you just said that. So I'm like, they are friends. Got it.
I only put two and two together after I was like, wait, why is Blake... It just was so confusing to me. And then I'm like, oh, wait, they were on the season together. Perhaps they've stayed in touch. But, like, could there be someone else from Bachelor Nation that maybe you're closer with? Perhaps. But Blake is the better option because Kylie needs to fuck him.
Right, because he's there. Yeah.
Which, get in line, Kylie.
See, so it's just like, honestly, and it's after that wedding when I turned it off and was like, I need to revisit this later.
That's when you turned it off? I found it so much.
So boring. Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't miss it. I watched it later another day, but like, they lost me. Like, really? In hour 2, we're gonna like get sidetracked with this crap? Sorry, I can't.
Well, then they pick it back up, though, with this Kylie and Aven stuff. So Kylie wants to get engaged. She says, when are you ever going to be ready? You're almost 30 years old, which is such a dig. How did you feel about that being
as a 30-year-old?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, though...
Also, Kylie, are you, like, 28? Like, girl.
Right. I do think, though, until you're, like, at 30, you think 30's so old.
That's how I feel about 40 now.
Yeah, right. But I didn't really like take that so much as a dig because it's like you think like, oh, by 30 it's like so old, I'm gonna have all these things, and then like you get to 30 and you're like, oh, I'm the same, like it's fine. But if she's not there yet, she doesn't know.
Also, I want to be clear with that last statement. I'm not 40. I'm just like closer to 40 than I am to 30 is what I mean.
Yeah. Right.
So I no longer think like my husband's in his 40s, so I no longer think 40 is old. But like 10 years ago, I was like, but to say something like, oh my God, you're like 40, that used to be something that you're like, whoa, insult. Now I'm like, oh, cool. So yeah, we're friends. Same age.
Right. And
it's so weird. It's just so weird. I remember being young and remember my mom being 40 and being like, oh, 40 equals old. And now
but I do think like all the ages are younger now. Like,
so do I. Age is just a number.
I do think 40 is the new 30. 30 is probably the new 25 because I don't think I'm 20. I'm like,
I don't want to be 20.
No, I would never want to. That's why I'm actually, as a 30-year-old, I feel like I'm like, okay, this is kind of slay. I feel like I'm in a good place.
You're saying slay a lot.
Sorry, but it's just how I feel.
People are going to say in the comments.
Okay, well,
slay.
Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why I'm saying it so much. It's just rolling off the tongue. I'm feeling festive. Sorry. Santa slay.
Wait,
I'm saying Santa slay. Like his literal
use
slay.
Use code slay 30 if you want to get 30% off of the makeup eraser.
Right.
We should put an actual slay up on screen.
Right. This is a holiday episode.
What I had such an issue with, if she's like, if it's not going to happen here, it's never going to happen. Like, girl, it's literally been 3 weeks. Also, like, Kylie, you won. You found the man of your dreams, so to speak. If it's all about getting engaged, then it's less about finding the man of your dreams and it's more about getting engaged on TV. Like, you can't convince me otherwise. Because if you truly feel like this is it, like I found the one, it's what we all look for. You found it and this is your deal breaker. This is the hill that you want to die on.
Right. I don't really understand why. The only explanation would be the television of it all.
And the ring. Well, that's what I think a lot of people do. It's like, let's get engaged now, get that free ring, and we'll figure it out later. Remember, didn't Gerry say that, though? Didn't he say it to someone?
Probably.
He said it about, I think to Leslie, about where they're going to live or something. And he's like, let's just fall in love and we'll figure it out later. And it's like, you're never supposed to figure it out later because you know what happens? Multiple infidelities.
On one hand, I see why he would not want to get engaged, right? Like that's the logical, normal thing to feel because this is ridiculous. But if he was serious about really liking Kylie a lot and wanting to have a relationship with her outside of the show, why not then at least go to the fantasy suite to have more time?
Also go to the fantasy suite.
Right. No, exactly. So it's like the fact that he was so willing to cut it off before they go, because you can then be like, because he could just say, yeah, no, like I'm considering engagement, like blah. They go to the next level, do the fantasy suite.
That's worse. I'm going to bang you and then tell you I don't want to get engaged. Also, what is the fact that like Jesse enters the room and he's like, okay, guys, you're either having sex and going to the fantasy suite, but only if you promise us that you're going to get engaged or you go home. Like, there's such an ultimatum.
Yeah, but it's like, it doesn't have to be. You can say, yep, I promise we're going to get engaged, and then go to the fantasy suite, right. And then just be like, oh, we talked it over. We think this is what's best for us. Like, they can't force you, really. Also, side note about the banging. Is there no longer the little boom boom room? They don't talk about that anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not there.
But like, just because they don't film in it doesn't mean that some people aren't sleeping in there, maybe.
Sure, we can ask people if we get anyone from the current seasons. But yeah. I mean, when Demi was on it, she was going to the boom boom room all the time. That season, whatever that. Yeah. It was actually, she went to the boom boom room with Kenny.
Yeah, she did. I'm like, but did she go with anyone else? I think maybe just Kenny.
No, I just meant she was talking about the boom boom room a lot. Yeah.
Right. So it was definitely a thing. Interesting that they're just like not bringing it up, like, okay.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was just so willing to cut it off right there makes me feel like maybe he was just never invested at all to begin with.
Like, I think Aven really liked her, but he was a little bit more logical. And also, wasn't it the same thing with Rachel, though? I remember on Rachel's season, he really liked Rachel, but wasn't engagement an issue? Like, I remember her being like, if I choose you, are you going to propose? And he's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So this is 2 for 2 now, that you're going on shows where the ending is typically an engagement and questioning why you need to get engaged. Like, Aven, just go on Tinder if you're trying to find love. Stop going on shows where like engagement is typically expected.
Well, right. It's giving, I just want to go on a show for the sake of going on a show. Mm-hmm. I did think it was interesting when Kylee actually brought up Rachel and was like, well, but in Rachel's situation, you were more willing to go forward with engagement. And he's like, why are we talking about Rachel right now? It's like, why wouldn't you be talking about Rachel? He always forgets that he was like literally the runner up of her season.
But I didn't get what she meant though, because he didn't want to get engaged to Rachel.
Yeah, I think she was misremembering, honestly.
Wow. I can't blame her for that.
Right. It happens to the best of us. See? It's fine.
Because like, I remember it being a scene on the show that Rachel made a big deal about Aven not wanting to potentially get engaged, or like he wanted to maybe end the show and be together. Weird. Same exact thing. Like, let's just leave the show together.
Right. But he did do the fantasy suite with Rachel, right?
I don't know. It was a long time ago, but I just remember, like, yeah, so her saying, like, you were ready to get engaged to Rachel. Also, it kind of put Kylee in the perspective of, like, a fan. Like, I watched you on Rachel's season, and this is how you behaved with her. Whereas, like, you watched an edited version of your boyfriend in love with another girl, and you don't know what really actually happened behind the scenes. It's funny because I feel like I do side with Aven a little bit more in this argument, but I kind of feel like I argue both sides of this argument. Like, I'm like Mandy Moore in A Walk to Remember when she straddles the state lines. Like, she's in 2 places at once. That's how I feel. Yeah. Like, I am on one end, yes, Aven, getting engaged after 3 weeks, dumb. But on the other end, like, Aven, stop going on, like, engagement shows. And then Kylee, if you met the man that you're supposed to be with, then you won. Leave the show and be happy. Yeah. They couldn't have looked less happy going in that car ride home. They kind of reminded me of Brendan and Piper. We need to go back to Kenny and Mari's wedding. I know we touched on it. So what did you think about Kylie's reaction to Blake coming down the aisle? Because I agree, Blake was a hired actor. Like, he really wasn't supposed to be there. They wanted him there for the drama. And bravo, it was the best part of the episode. But when someone behind Kylee was like, Kylee, Blake's here. Why does Kylee care so much? And why is she the one person out of all of you that would want to turn around and see Blake and be so excited that he's back?
Yeah. Do you think they were hoping that maybe something more would happen with them by like constantly pushing this, like bringing Blake back and then having someone be like, Kylee, look, Blake. Like, do you think they were trying to like create a little relationship here just for the sake of saving the show because it was so boring?
Well, I feel like she couldn't have been less happy with Aven because she couldn't convince him to put a ring on it. So she was really upset about it. But she couldn't have been more happy when Blake walked down the aisle. So it's like, Kylee, girl, maybe you should be with Blake. And now that she's a single woman, maybe that's going to happen.
I think they should be together. I think that'd be lovely.
Wasn't Kylee like besties with Jess though? Like, if Jess didn't leave, I forgot that Jess left for a second. Like, at the wedding, I'm like, oh wait, Blake's back? Pan to Jess. And then Jess isn't there. So like the next best person, I guess, is Kylee. But like, that was your friend. It's just the whole thing is so weird to me.
Yeah, but I also think like, just because you dated in like they were playing Paradise, like Blake said. Like, I think just because they dated on the show, I wouldn't consider Blake like Jess's ex.
But why is Kylee randomly saying before the wedding? She just randomly says, "I miss Blake." Why do you? This is the man here on the beach that you so desperately want to get engaged to, but you're thinking about the guy that you want to have girly chats with. Just something's not adding up.
Right. No, I think they should be together.
Let's move over to couples that we knew were going to end anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, why bother? So Sam ends things with Peter. Mm-hmm. Not to be mean. My note, I'm sorry, but who cares? Literally
Truly,
my notes.
Truly.
Just like,
we didn't see a lot of them
but also
on the show.
We don't really know Peter. We don't really know
Right.
Sam. To put them together, it's like a big nothing burger.
Yeah, I agree. And again, nothing against them personally, but like if you don't see a lot of their interactions on the show, how am I supposed to be invested?
I heard people saying that Peter's like exit, some people thought he was trying to audition for Bachelor. He says like, I went to like 12 weddings in the past year, but never went to my own.
Yeah.
And he's like, he said something about like, I can hook up with any girl I want. Humble, yeah. No offense, Peter. I just like don't think you're gonna get it. Yeah, I don't
think
it's
was a
in
nice
the cards.
effort to like really, you got to tee yourself up, you got to shoot your shot, but I think they're gonna go with someone else.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
So true. Right, he had to try, which I applaud.
Then we have Mercedes and Jordan, the couple of 24 hours.
Right.
She tells him, I just don't think romantically it's there. Didn't you not know that yesterday?
No, she did. She just wanted to stay on the show a little bit longer.
When she says that, or like she pulls him aside, John Henry's like, I wonder what this means for Jordan. What do you think it means, golden retriever? Like, of course it.
He's so silly. He's such a golden retriever. He's truly a dog.
At some point, you have to go home. You're not going to live in paradise.
This is the end of the show.
Then we have Olivia, who like puts her heart on the line for Michael.
I know.
Girl
but it goes
catch
back
a break.
to kind of what you were saying the other day. Like, in the case of Olivia, it does seem like she just wanted it to be anyone. You know what I mean? Because she had such bad luck with so many other guys on the beach going forward. So, like, it's not surprising to me that they were obviously on very different pages, because I think Olivia was just convincing herself that she liked Michael more than she did. And I think now that she's removed herself from the situation, she would agree with me.
Okay, we need to get into the proposals and the montage, which the montage I actually think was the best part of the entire...
But it's like, isn't that saying so much when the montage is the best part of the 3-hour show?
Yes. It also proves that you don't need to have all of these like hot seat interviews when they were able to wrap it up in 30 fucking seconds.
Yeah.
Before we get into all this, we need to tell you guys about Miracle Brand.
Winter is here, and for me, that means like struggling to find the right temperature when you sleep, because I do feel like a crazy person when it's freezing cold outside, but I'm still like running the AC all night long. It just feels like so wasteful. And then I wake up in the morning and my room is freezing and I don't actually want to get out of bed. But guys, Miracle Brand has made bed sheets that use silver infused fabrics, and that makes them temperature regulating. And so then you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long.
Miracle sheets are the perfect gift for your spouse, your friends, your family. And who doesn't want to sleep better and have luxurious fitting bed sheets? I mean, I do. Mm-hmm. So yeah, go to trymiracle.com/she'sallbatch. Try it today or gift it to someone special for the holiday seasons. We have a special deal for our listeners. Save over 40%. And if you use our code she'sallbatch at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels. Like, yes. And save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product. It's backed with 30-day money-back guarantee.
Amazing.
Like, slay.
Literally slay. Okay, guys, so come January, I'm actually not going to be working from home as much. I am planning to go back to my office a few days a week. And for longer days like that, when you're not home with access to your own kitchen, I do think it really is so important to keep snacks on hand that you know are healthy and not full of sugar and all the junk that you find from the snacks like in the break room. Like, okay, fine, I'll bring my own.
And we have to tell you guys about Mosh with 6 delicious flavors. Each Mosh bar includes 12 grams of protein and is made with ingredients that support brain health, like ashwagandha, lion's mane, collagen, and omega-3s. It's only 160 calories a bar and only 1 gram of sugar. Mosh protein bars are the guilt-free snack your brain and body will crave. And Mosh has a new line now of plant-powered protein bars in 3 delicious flavors for those who want all the protein and brain support in the original bar, now made with plant-based ingredients.
Yes, so don't settle for a mediocre snack when you can nourish your body and mind with the fuel it needs to succeed. So whether you're at the gym, on the go, or just living your best life, Mosh protein bars will keep your brain and body fit, fueled, and feeling good. So guys, head to moshlife.com/she'sallbatch to save 20% off plus free shipping on your first 6-count trial pack. So that's 20% off plus free shipping on your first 6-count trial pack, which includes all 6 mouthwatering flavors. That's MOSHLIFE.com/she'sallbatch.
Okay, proposal day.
Okay, proposal
One. I have issue with the fact that they call it that. Can we come up with a different name for it? I take issue with the fact that everyone, again.
Well, because also it implies that you have to have a proposal.
Yeah.
And it's just, it shouldn't have to be that deep. And quite frankly, it's just unrealistic and silly.
Yeah. So Eliza makes it seem like she's not going to say yes to Aaron. Mm-hmm. She says, I don't know what I'm going to say or how I'm going to react. I mean, not a great sign when you're going to get proposed to. I mean, both Eliza and John Henry said things to allude to the fact that they weren't 100% convinced that this was the right choice, but like, let's just do it anyway.
Yeah, but they could have said that like 2 weeks ago in a room about something else, and they're just putting it in for the drama.
Well, Eliza said it to Aaron at the proposal station.
Oh, well, then in that case, she really did say it. That's no frank inviting.
So Aaron tells Eliza, "You're the most beautiful part of paradise for me." He talked to her mom on the phone for 15 minutes. My issue, sure. Is it sweet?
Yeah.
Yes. Is the bar too low? I mean, we really made a very big deal about the fact that he made a phone call in which, we don't know, a producer probably handed him the phone with her mom on the line and said, go talk to her.
Yes, but
the bar's too low.
But it is low. It is low. That is for sure. I just think, though, Eliza was probably, though, expecting, though, that she was just going to get engaged without her family knowing. So I think the fact that he did talk to her mom, I get that that's a nice gesture. It's a win.
Fine. No, yeah. I liked it. It was definitely sweet, and she was touched in the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, he made a phone call. Let's call a spade.
And he probably didn't even make it. Right. Like you said, he was probably handed a phone and said, "This is Eliza's mom." And he doesn't know her phone number
or her name
or have a phone. So what are we talking about?
Yeah, and it's like, "Hi, Mrs. Eliza's mom, I was just on TV flying to Fiji to see Charity. You probably watched me, but I'm actually getting engaged to your daughter now."
Right. And she's like, "Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds
good.
Yes,
you have my approval."
Glad to meet you no? When you get back to the States.
Yeah. So then when John Henry proposes to Kat, he says, "My gut says it's too soon, but fuck it, we're on TV," in more or less words.
Which is kind of honest and nice. I appreciate the honesty because he wants the ring, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I just feel like these people are choosing whether or not to get engaged the way I choose like a nail color at the nail salon.
Yeah.
Like I sit there for a while and I do stress over it for a little bit, and I'm like, okay, do I get
it's a long commitment, honestly. It's like 3 whole weeks.
I know.
Sometimes 4 if they do a good job.
100%. So I'm like, do I get this shade of pink or this shade of pink, which is really all it's ever
between. I feel like
between.
nails are literally always pink. The fact that they're red, I'm like, whoa.
But then when the nail tech comes over and says like, okay, it's your turn now, I'm like, okay, game time decision.
Right, you just have to pick.
All right, dark pink. And then I choose. That's kind of how I feel like they're choosing whether or not they're going to make this lifelong commitment to people.
Right. But that just goes to show it's like clearly in their mind, maybe not a lifelong commitment. Right. It's a free ring. Free ring. If eventually down the line in a year or two, they decide they actually want to be engaged.
Yeah.
And then they will just get engaged. The same ring, maybe.
The montage.
Ring. Yeah. The montage.
This is the best part of the whole episode.
It only took 3 hours to get there.
Yeah. So we hear that Rachel doesn't want anything to do with a Where Are They Now montage. Fair. You guys,
do you think that's true? Do you think they said, "Hey, Rachel, what are you up to now?" And she was like, "Shove it up your asses. I hate you guys."
I mean, I think they did her dirty. And if she doesn't have anything new to report, she's probably just said like, "Oh, I don't know." And then they came up with that. It was cute. I mean, I thought that part was cute. Yeah. We find that Jess is still single. Mm-hmm. Blake is still saving the sharks. Yeah. Obviously. And I thought it was cute that they made the Golden Bachelor reference.
What was the reference?
That he's going to be the Golden Bachelor.
Oh, because he's old?
Oh, no, when he's older.
Oh, like when he actually is 70.
Yeah. We find that Eliza and Aaron are already on the rocks.
Mm-hmm. Shocking. What? You were debating whether to even get engaged in the first place after 3 weeks, and shockingly, it's not going peachy keen?
But he called her mom, though. They couldn't make it work, even with that phone call.
The bar, like you said, the bar is low.
The bar is low. What about the fact that they're like, oh, by the way, Braden and Aaron S. almost died. None for Gretchen Wieners. Bye.
That was such a crazy thing that happened too.
Such a crazy thing, but maybe don't put it in the montage. It just seems so weird. Sitting between like, Jess is single. Rachel doesn't have any updates. By the way, Braden and Aaron almost died. Like, that's just odd. Maybe tell us a different time.
Yeah, or like
no context. Just almost died.
I know, but they're almost kind of assuming that like we all already. It's like that's the time you assume we already know something versus like all the other stupid tricks. Like that's the time they assume that we already know the story versus like every other time they think we're dumb because they do, and it's like, oh my god, is Hannah Brown like here to date? Like what's gonna happen, guys? And then this they assume like
by the way,
two people literally almost die, and they just assume we already know.
Yeah, don't tell us why Jess is mad at Kat. Don't tell us that why Tyler and Jess are making out. No one knows about it, but let us know that they almost died.
And you're like, oh, but you guys already knew that. Let's just throw that in the montage.
Okay, the biggest bombshell, Brandon and Christina. Like, shook to my very core. And they've done so many hard launches ever since.
I love it for them. They seem to be really happy. I think it's great.
Doesn't it seem like the type of thing that, like, no shit, they should be together? Like, once they got together, I'm like, that makes sense. Because their personalities, they go together so well.
You think?
Yeah, you
like,
don't. You're the only one that doesn't.
But, like, what about their personalities?
I don't know, but they do.
It's a vibe.
You're getting a vibe. I'm feeling the vibes.
Oh, okay.
It kind of is like how I felt about Kendall and Blake. How they RIP. I mean, they're not together, but
right, and never were.
Right, but I mean, I felt like the vibes. Well, when they like were saving sharks together, I was like, you guys, make the perfect couple.
Okay, but like in the case of Christina and Brayden,
I don't know the vibes. It's just
the vibe because like he does not have a child. She has a child,
and I didn't have Brayden becoming a stepfather on my bingo card this year, but
could be
crazier things have happened. No, he basically already is. They're like living together.
Oh wow,
yeah. Did you watch?
I saw the montage, but they didn't say that in the montage. That they're living together.
I think they did.
Oh, are you sure?
No.
No, we are not sure. No,
I'm not. Don't ever trust anything I say on the show.
Well, people will let us know whether they said it or not.
All in all, that was a big waste of time. When did the season start? October? September?
Yes. September, because it was around when Golden started too.
Yeah. Waste of time.
Oh, now we're in December? Right. So thanks, ABC, for that. Make a Golden Paradise, and then you'll get me.
Well, they are
really excited. Yeah.
All right. So I mean, I think that wraps it up. I think we're gonna get out of this room for the last time. We're gonna get out of this room for the last time in 2023.
Yeah.
It's the last time we're gonna be recapping in 2023. How do you
keep saying in 2023, but we're not recapping in 2024.
Oh, don't tell them that. They're gonna be pissed
for a while. Yeah. So. Bye, room. Thank you so much for.
It was so nice.
You know the book that's like Good Night Moon. Like,
yeah,
goodbye, room. We'll see you later. Good night.
Right, let's get out of it.
Yeah, get me out of here. Okay. Get me out of here. Don't tell the room that though. Okay, fine.
And that's our show. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. If you're watching, if you like what you hear, give us give us a thumbs up. Don't be a dick in the comments and rate us 5 stars and write something nice because it's the holidays and we're always nice to you. So be nice back.
Yeah, I thought this was such a fun episode. I love like being here in person with you. And so yeah, guys, sound off in the comments below if you like the videos. We'll try to do it more, but it's tough because we don't live in the same place.
Yeah. Also check out our Patreon because this is our last episode of 2023, but there's more episodes coming on Patreon.
Yes.
We have the Naughty and Nice part 1 and part 2, a lengthy dive into all of Bachelor Nation, who's going on the Naughty and Nice list. Also, spoiler alert, I put Aven on the naughty list before I even knew about the infidelity.
Yeah, because we knew because of the vibes. The vibes are just...
Never steer you wrong.
They never do.
Also, for the holidays, if you want to get our merch between now and the end of the year, you can use code FOTSMIS, Merry Fotsmas, for 10% off. We have a new Bachelor Aficionado sweatshirt and then all of our originals that you know and love.
Yeah.
That link is in the episode description.
Perfect. And if you want to meet more Fots, go to the Facebook group. You can follow us. Follow Stephanie at She's All Batch. Follow me at Jackie Maroney _.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
Goodbye, bitches.